This year's salutatorian, Dylan Thomas, is the son of Sidney and Denise Thomas of 4 Mason Lane. Dylan will be graduating with an impressive grade point average of 4.802. He is a member of the Nichols Honors Academy with a course history that includes 7 advanced placement courses. Due to his leadership skills, he was selected as a delegate to the Hugh O'Brien Youth Foundation State Leadership Seminar and was selected as the recipient of the Emily Roberts Scholarship. He has been a class officer for all 4 years, serving as class secretary. He has been a member of the jazz band, the select choir, and show choir for all 4 years as well. In addition, he has been a member of the mock trial team and a member of the DECA team that recently qualified for and competed at the National DECA competition in Atlanta, Georgia. His teachers and friends characterize him as interesting, funny, honest, a leader, and a problem solver. He will be attending Dean College in the fall, majoring in communications with an emphasis on journalism. It is my pleasure to introduce to you this year's salutatorian, Mr. Dylan Thomas.
One moment, please. Thank you, Mr. Knoll, and welcome everybody to the graduation of Bartlett High School's class of 2018. Before we get things started here, I want to thank one of my best friends, Nick Rockwood, for enhancing my speech with some very relaxing music. I realize that there will be a plethora of speeches throughout this evening, and I 100% empathize that you may get bored. Trust me, I would too. The music being played right now should soothe the transition between listening to my speech and tuning me out due to utter boredom. I feel very privileged to be accompanied with Nick throughout the speech and being able to speak after Connor, my other best friend throughout my high school journey. Without these fine young men, I would not be standing here right now. I'm honored to be representing one of Bartlett's finest and being able to share my story with such a wonderful audience. Before I ramble on about who I am and my possible journey to success, I would like to give credit to a student here that represents diligence. A diligent person is defined as a persistent, conscientious leader and worker. I believe many people could have given this fantastic speech this evening instead of me, but I would like to credit Megan Marrier for her grit and dedication to Bartlett High School and what it represents. Thank you, Megan. Throughout the high school drama, piles of math homework, or the pressure of doing well in the SATs, I feel as sometimes we forget the story of each one of us. And today, I want to share my personal adventure to adulthood. I am blessed by the support of my family, friends, and education to be able to speak with you all today. I was born on February 4th, 2000, as a healthy and jubilant young boy. However, by the time I was a toddler, my family could tell something was very wrong. I was nonverbal at the age of 4 and lacked simple social skills. I would have alarming anxiety attacks. I would have a sensory overload caused by loud noises and larger crowds. My mom could not take me into the public because I would freak out and refuse to stay calm. Often, I would appear to daydream and fidget around in my own world at random times. My family was very concerned and took me to many doctors. The news was very disheartening as my parents were told, "Your son has autism." When I was born, I was much lower in the spectrum than I am today. On the lower side of the spectrum where I used to be, I was extremely hypersensitive to many sounds, lights, and textures. Most of us would have an abundance of developmental issues such as speech delays, poor motor skills, and sensory processing issues. Personally, I would have anxiety attacks and would get restless about change. In fact, I still believe this is a part of me today. I was mentally challenged. My brain was incredibly delayed. You may ask, what was my destiny back then? Doctors in science labeled me and told me I would not have much success in my endeavors. Let me repeat that. Science told me that I would be unable to thrive in any classroom setting. I was surrounded by disappointing expectations and an ominous future ahead of me. I felt like a failure, a liability. I just wanted somebody to love me for who I really was. I wanted my father's approval and my mother's anxiety to vanish so badly, I just wanted to disappear. I just wish I could have made them proud. However, I am much different now. I'm happy. My intelligence is no longer delayed and limited. I have taught myself to deal with my still existing anxiety. Now I'm teaching science the lesson and not the other way around. I am autistic. It's something I've been scared to say because I don't want to be pitied. My worst fear in life deals with mediocrity. I would hate to come so far just to be forgotten. I am autistic. Some may view us as freaks, but Marilyn Monroe says it's okay to be insane. I have hidden the secret far too long, and I apologize to everyone for that. I may stim, I may be strange, or I may be too anxious, but I've accepted that. For the first time in my life, I can say, I am autistic. And gosh darn it, am I proud of that. I feel as I represent anybody who had ever been put down or told they could not do it. I have cried countless nights thinking about how my disorder disappointed my parents and how I wasn't good enough. Thanks to many counselors in my family, I have conquered and adapted to my weaknesses and made them my strengths. I began to work harder and harder to prove all the doubters and haters wrong. I wanted to be recognized for denying all odds. I just wanted to be normal and feel appreciated. When I was a kid, all I wanted to do was be like everyone else and blend in with all the other kids. However, when I began applying for colleges, I realized how important and incredible being different truly is. Truth be told, my entire life, I just wanted to be different, ordinary. All I want to do now is be extraordinary. Mr. Constantine, I guarantee you, is laughing back there about all this irony that's going on. But it's thanks to him that I am able to accept who I am and move forward with my life. And that seizing the day and being yourself is the most important thing about life. Because otherwise, you are just alive and not truly living. I'm very grateful for that lesson. I would like to thank some very magnificent people for helping me become the independent and proud person I am today. I'd first like to give credit to some of my closest friends who are here tonight.
No, get away from there.
Whether it was Connor's drive and determination to achieve more in life, Nick's mellow attitude and warm heart, Alyssa's sassy yet supportive nature, Abby's no-nonsense policy, Ruby's kind spirit, or most importantly, Jared losing at fantasy football. Just kidding. Kind of. I appreciate his patient, collected personality much more regardless. All these friends are considered family to me, with the support they've given me and how much they have inspired me to become a better human being than I was yesterday. To my teachers, I owe everything, and I mean everything, I have to my education. Without the quality education the Webster public school system has given to me, I would not be destined for this level of success. Instead, I would probably be incapable of functioning by myself and would need to live with my parents. I wish I could thank all of my teachers in this speech, but I cannot. Please understand that you have all contributed a small yet transformative verse in my life, and forever I'm grateful for that. However, I'm going to try my best to recognize some of my teachers, so let's do this quickly. Thank you to Mr. Constantine, Mr. Gorski, Ms. Hensel, Ms. O'Connell, and Mr. Janis for inspiring me in and outside the classroom. Thank you to Ms. Sabai, Mr. Labossinier, Mr. Peon, Mrs. Nassis, Mr. Paradise, and then most importantly, Ms. Hanig, for being some of the most hardworking teachers Bartlett has ever had. And finally, thank you to Ms. Masterson, Mr. Hanson, Ms. Biggs, Ms. Argentary, and Mr. Carney for being very empathetic teachers who enhanced my life. Okay, Mr. Carney might be debatable. I promise that's it, but if I had more time, I could go on until Trump's next tweet. What? Actually, that might not be too long after all. Thank you to my family, and especially my parents. Dad, you were my rock, and a shoulder to lean on advice for. Mom, you were simply my everything. There is nobody on this planet as wonderful and loving as you. Thank you to my grandparents for supporting me at my lowest points and always pushing me to achieve more. Finally, thank you to all my relatives here tonight for believing me and loving me. You all gave me the strength I needed to accomplish all that I have done. Before I conclude here, I want to give some inspirational words. Wilma Rudolph once said, "When the sun is shining, I can do anything. No mountain is too high, no trouble too difficult to overcome." Don't let others tell you what you can and cannot do. We tell ourselves that we don't have it in us to live that way and to take action that they can do. We all have these fears bubbling away inside of us. The fear of failing, being seen, being rejected, judged, or even criticized for what we believe in. Instead of facing them head on, we choose to run and hide, and by doing so, we deprive the world of our gifts. The dream is glistening inside your beautiful soul, and I hope you understand that anything, and I mean anything, is possible. The world is the canvas to our imaginations. I hope my story can help you see that. When faced with adversity, people just accept that it is what it is. I made my dream a reality. Embrace your path and embrace who you are, because in a world full of judgment and hate, we forget how marvelous we truly are. If you can think it inside your brain, it can come to life. It's magic. It matters not where you were born, your sexuality, your ethnicity, or the limits of your friends and family. The only thing that matters is you and what you believe is possible. Greatness is within us all, and we just need the motivation to go out and unleash it. Now, it's one thing to believe something is possible, but it's extraordinary to achieve something incredible. And we are all extraordinary, from the DNA to the bones that shape our body to the mind that decides. I should probably end the speech soon, since you're all getting bored. Yeah. Remember, the world will tell you that you cannot do something. And I just want you to breathe in, breathe out, and say, "Watch me." Thank you very much.